What do you call it when Australia's Prime Minister treats a carefully chosen diplomatic gift from Japan's leader as the punchline of a schoolboy joke, then appears to dodge proper declaration of that gift on the official register? You call it MelonGate, and it exposes something deeper than a bad podcast moment. It raises serious questions about Anthony Albanese's leadership, maturity, and grasp of diplomacy. In May 2026, Japan's Prime Minister Sanae Tachikichi visited Australia. As a gesture of goodwill and to mark the easing of import rules on Japanese produce, she presented Albanese with a prize Shizuoka Crown melons. The kings of fruits in Japan, they are no ordinary melons, grown with meticulous care, one vine producing one perfect fruit. They can cost hundreds of dollars each and are given to honour the recipient. Albanese later described the gift on a comedy podcast as pretty strange, but quite good, when the host made a crude joke comparing Takahachi's to Pamela Anderson. Albanese joined in, gesturing near his chest and saying she brought two and they are beautiful. A former Japanese ambassador to Australia called the remarks an insult that betrayed the close bond between the two countries. Crown melons are culturally significant. Treating them as a cheap double entendre was not just tone deaf, it was disrespectful to Japan, to the office of its Prime Minister, and to the seriousness of the bilateral relationship Australia claims to value. There's more. Under the rules, gifts from the official government sources above $750 must be declared on the Register of Registrable Interests. Reports indicate Takahachi's side ultimately provided 4 luxury crown melons valued in total around $800. The first pair was given during the May visit and eaten at the lodge. Albanese reportedly liked them so much that the Japanese embassy arranged another 2 in June. Officials have argued the gifts came in 2 separate tranches of roughly $400 each, conveniently under the $750 threshold, so no public declaration was required in the ways a single gift of that value would demand. Critics, including Pauline Hanson, have asked the obvious question. For a government that campaigns on transparency, why does this look like splitting the difference to avoid proper scrutiny? The private register notes the first pair, but the handling of the full gift has fueled accusations that the rules were applied in a more self-serving way possible. In the most self-serving way possible. What does that mean? At best, it's like a technical hair splitting that prioritizes avoiding scrutiny over clear accountability. At worst, it reinforces a perception that the rules bend when it's convenient for the Prime Minister. Either way, it damages trust. The episode was not an isolated gaffe. It sits alongside recent lapses in judgment on the same podcast. A mature leader understands that diplomacy is not a comedy club. When you represent Australia to a critical strategic partner like Japan, you do not reduce a high-value cultural gift to innuendo, and you do not leave the appearance of incomplete transparency on the register. Leadership requires restraint. Maturity recognizes when a joke lands as an insult. Diplomacy requires treating the symbols of partnership with respect, not as a prop for a laugh. Albanese defenders claim the Japanese side has downplayed the matter and that no ill intent existed. That may be true of official statements. It does not erase the lack of judgment or the questions about how the gift was recorded. As a Prime Minister who cannot model seriousness in these moments invites the criticism that he is more concerned with being one of the boys on a podcast than with upholding the dignity of the office and the interests of the country. MelonGate is a small story that reveals larger problems. Disrespect for a diplomatic gift. Questions over whether declaration rules were applied with full transparency, and the pattern of behaviour that prioritises the easy laugh over the careful conduct expected of a national leader. Australia's relationship with Japan is too important for this level of carelessness. Viewers can decide for themselves what it says about the man currently holding the highest office in the land. Thanks for watching, and if you found this useful, subscribe and share your thoughts below.